Good morning, go-getters. It's time to wake up to living life on your own terms. Welcome to FU Money Mornings with me, Brent Attaway, where we talk business, marketing, sales, leadership, and pretty much anything that helps us create more FU money and live in an amazing FU money lifestyle. Let's dive in. Hell yeah, let's do this. Today, we're diving into the world of marketing. And I guess when are we not diving into the world of marketing, people? We're always doing this. That's what we're here for. FU Money is surrounded by marketing, right? But I want you to hold on to your wallets, right? Because we're going to be talking about creative strategies that won't require you to spend any money at all. This is for you, those of you that are looking for marketing on a budget, right? Or just bootstrap marketing. And I'm going to give you 3 things that will help you get leads every day without spending a dime. Now, I will preface before I go into this, understand me on this. I'm all about spending money to get leads and sales. That's better because now you don't have to spend your time on it. You're always going to spend one of 2 things to get a lead or a sale. You're going to spend time or money and or both. Okay? Usually it's a mix. But let me just say it this way. What I'm about to share with you today is just using your time, no money. So now you're going to exchange your time. Now, if you're spending way too much time, you need to start figuring out how to leverage some of your money on this as well. So you're not always away from your family or neglecting your health, things like that. Use your money. The more you can use your money for a profit, the more you should just keep doing it. In other words, if you found out a way in marketing your product or service that it's the same as putting $1 into an ATM and it always gave you $1.50 back or $1.20, at least a profit, then you should just, how many times should you do that? Well, as many times as you could, right? Make a system out of it. Make a process that you're like, okay, how many times can I get this return without me having to put my time into it? That's the key. So what I'm showing with you, I'm not saying this is the only way. I'm sharing this because I know most of you need some good organic ways to get traffic without spending a dime right now. Cool? All right, that's all I wanted to say. Now, the first thing I'm going to go into right now is the fact that marketing does not have to be expensive, because that's a myth. Good marketing, you think, has to be expensive, that it has to cost like an arm and a leg, and it doesn't. Some of the best marketing strategies are low cost or even free. So these free ones I'm going to show you are examples of that. So let's talk about the power of social media. This is the most budget-friendly marketing tactic, I think, in today's world as of 2023, right? It's still social media. So I'm not just talking about posting pictures of your lunch here or your cat. I'm talking about targeted, engaging content that speaks to your audience. That's important. Targeted, engaging, and it's speaking to an audience. You're not just posting random crap, okay, all the time. So social media is like a fishing pond. You've got to know where to cast your line. And you go to that specific area in social media and you have your pole and you know a specific bait that will get their attention and you talk about it. You give tips on it. You give action items with it. And people start to engage with you and they start knowing you for that positioning, okay? So your action item on this one would be something like pick one social media platform where your audience hangs out and go post daily for a week. And I'll get into it in a minute. It's not just for a week. I'm just giving you an example. This is just a test, okay? So I want you to do more than a week, but just for now, this is a test. That's your action item. So just track engagement. See what gets more clicks or likes or comments and start noticing why. Ask yourself, well, I wonder why that one got more. And look at it. See what you did. See what bait worked better. See why you got more engagement. So that's social media. I know that's very basic, but if you're not even posting on social media every day and for the purpose of marketing and getting free leads, then that's where to start. The second thing to do, and you can do this at the same time simultaneously, is to start shaking more hands with people you want to do business with or that has the audience that you're looking for. So you've heard the phrase, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. That's absolutely true in this case as well. So like, networking and partnerships is what I'm talking here. So like partnering with other businesses is how you can reach their audience without even spending money. In fact, I'm not talking about like partner with them and sponsor something. That would be spending money. I'm talking about you have something that they want to share with their audience and you share that for free. So let's say they're doing a newsletter and they need some content. And like, if I've partnered with people, they're like, hey, can you give us some marketing content on follow-up since you're the follow-up guy, Brent? And I'd say, yeah, absolutely. And I write up an article or a piece of an article. They put it in their newsletter, and now I get exposure to their audience. And people start messaging me and emailing our team, and that's how I get exposure, free leads, right? Another way is being a guest on somebody else's podcast, or a guest in their world of maybe they have a training platform. So Solar Academy, for example, as of right now, we have people who can come in and train, and that gets them exposure. Okay. So you could be a guest. You have to have some core content to help you prepare on your mind here. Have some core content. The core content just means, hey, if I were to, like, my bag of tricks is what I often call it. My bag of tricks are like, I teach X, Y, and Z to help people get a result. Well, good. Go share that. Go share it on somebody's audience, with somebody's audience. Offer to partner with others. So I would reach out to at least 3 businesses or influencers this week that align with your brand and propose some kind of win-win partnership, like co-hosting a webinar or swapping even shout outs on social media and just tagging each other. It'll get you more exposure, and then make a practice of that every week. Eventually, you could leverage this out to an assistant if you'd like. So let's talk now about content marketing. So we've talked about social media, networking, and partnerships. What is content marketing? I'm talking blogs, podcasts, videos. This is the stuff that not only attracts new customers, but it keeps them coming back for more. This is like the chum in your marketing waters. This is what they feed off of, right? And so just like you're listening to this podcast right now, that you should do something similar. You don't have to be a podcast person if you don't want to. If you like writing, then write blogs or articles. If you like creating videos, then create videos. But what I like to do, and how I've learned it, is kind of Gary, I would just call it Gary V style, or if you've heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm surprised if you haven't, go look him up. But most of you know who Gary V is. And he's taught this years ago on how he does it, and he still does the same thing today. And a lot of people have taken this and ripped it off and made it their and claim it's their own. But basically, it's you create one piece of pillar content, pillar meaning like a main pillar of content, a big chunk. You take that and you record it. It might be 10, 15 minutes long, okay? It could be a whole speech. Maybe you record it on stage at somebody and you got the recording of it. Then you break that into pieces, which are called micro content. And you put that all over social media. This micro content are usually 1 minute to 90-second clips. And this are, YouTube shorts, you've got Instagram reels, you've got and stories, you've got Facebook, you got all these different things, TikTok. These are where you put your micro content to get attention, to create awareness. And as they like that awareness, they might even click and watch your pillar content, the whole clip, or go figure out who you are, Google you, do whatever, and then they'll subscribe to a podcast or your blog or whatever you've been doing to create content. So this doesn't happen, though, without you consistently creating your content marketing, something that's education-based, that really, really goes back to, okay, knowing your target audience and what they want to hear. Start creating content behind that. Also, real quick note, own your own list. Guys, you should be creating, there's a whole nother podcast we can create on this, but please make sure that you have people opt in for a free thing. That's called a lead magnet. Please make sure you have people opt in for exchange for name and email and maybe phone number. That is so important to do as you build up the list, and you own that list now. That's yours. It's not something that's on Facebook or social media. It just means now you can get a hold of people a different way. And the more ways that you can get a hold of somebody and reach them with good content, the more you're going to get leads and sales. Okay? All right. Last thing I want to talk about here. And this is the most important, perhaps, of all of them. We've talked about posting on social media, networking and partnerships. We've talked about content marketing. Guys, none of this will matter if you do it for a week or even 3 weeks or even like a year. You've got to commit to having a system in place that allows you to do this every week without missing it. So if you're going to go on vacation for a week or two, then pre-record all of this stuff, do all of this in advance, and have your team do it, okay? But don't ever miss a week. Consistency over time. You see, I started in solar when I was 39 years old. I am 43. I am now well known in solar, not the most well known. I'm just saying, I'm trying to give you an idea. I'm well known in solar for one simple reason. I consistently posted all of the stuff I'm talking about right now. I was on social media and in social media groups. I created networking of my own, or I went into other people's networks and partnerships. I've done a shit ton of content marketing, posting everything from podcasts to videos to whiteboard the sketches, and posting and sharing it all over social media, right? Content marketing, by the way, combines the power of social media because you're creating content and posting it. And I built my own email list so I could send emails out like a newsletter style to let people know what I'm working on and some tips and tricks. That took me about 2 years at first. And then I started building a presence because of that. And it built over time, don't get me wrong. But we had our own solar company as well. So I wasn't as concerned about my main brand right then in solar because we had a solar company. But once we sold it, I pivoted and started really positioning myself this way and using all of these things organically. I have yet to run an ad today. In about 3 years of content marketing, I've yet to even had to run an ad, and we have a whole SaaS company. I have a consulting company, and I have clients that all come to me without ever paying an ad. Now, we are about to turn on some more ads so we can scale even more. But you see, you don't have to have an expensive marketing strategy in order to get this going and in order to crush it in your business. You can use organic processes and systems in your marketing to attract a shit ton of customers and even a whole lot more leads, obviously, and you can start growing your business that way. So I encourage you to please do that. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, home services, obviously most of you are in some kind of home services or professional services. This all applies to you. So don't make an excuse that it doesn't apply to you or that it doesn't work. It works. You just got to find your way, your creative way of doing it. And that's a wrap on another FU Money Morning. Look, if you're hungry for more, remember, you can join us in the free FU Money community, and let's make those dreams a reality. Just go to ilovefumoney.com to join the community now. Until next time, keep living life on your own terms.